Okay, we have 12 students. Okay, so what we're going to do today, start the class with revision. Trigo. Okay, then after the break time, continue the lecture. Start the new topics. Okay, let me share some questions first. Okay, there are 4 questions here. So you can start already. So I put it in the chat box. Once I put it in the chat box, you can start doing it. So this is the first one. Okay, some students not check coming, but you all can start practice the questions already. This question, just for your revision, is actually from the past assessment, but the format of the assessment paper is a bit different. So, but it doesn't matter. You can still take it as a revision, okay? Just the marks is not really following, but actually you can use it as a revision. So there are 4 questions here, okay? So you can start to do it, okay, from the first one. So for your information, the total marks of this question is actually 50 marks. That means suppose these 4 questions, you should able to do it within 1.5 hours. But for today's class, of course, I cannot give you 1.5 hours. So maybe you can start first, okay? Then later I will start the discussions while maybe we'll just do together, okay? But maybe now you can start first, okay? Just give you some time. And let me see, okay, 14 students here, okay. One more student is not here, Ziyi is not here. Okay, students, for your information, since most of the students are here already, yep, I record it already. Okay, for your information, as I just announced it in the general channel today, regarding the mock test 1, okay, which is tomorrow, 1:30, I schedule it follow the actual time of the test, okay? So 1.5 hours for answering time and an additional 30 minutes for you to compile the file and submit. So that means the mock test is actually due at 3:30. But since this is a mock, so I extend the cutoff time, okay? That means after 3:30, you can still submit, okay? But any submission after 3:30 will be late, okay? You will receive the notification saying that your submission is late, okay? And I schedule it in a Moodle, okay? So far you can see it, this one is a Moodle. Mock test, for your information, is just for you to familiarize with the test and practice, familiarize with the submission to Moodle. So for mock test 1, right, it's not contribute to any marks of your assessment. So I schedule it under formative assessment. And for the actual test, test or exam, in the future, I will schedule it under summative assessment for your information. So for formative assessment, I already scheduled the mock test 1. So you can see the link is there already. But of course, now when you click the link, it's not accessible. Okay, it's only accessible tomorrow. Okay, 1:30. Okay, there is an instruction. So I already update the instruction here. So your actual test will going to follow the same instruction. Okay, so there consists of 4 questions. The actual test also consists of 4 questions. 1.5 hours to answer, additional 30 minutes to take pictures and upload your solution. And answer the questions on paper, only handwritten solutions are allowed. Okay, so but if let's say you are using digital pad, it's fine. So maybe some students, they have their own pad, they have their own pen to write the solution. That is fine, but must be the handwritten. Okay, so I don't accept the typing. Okay, but of course when come to maths, it's hard to type. Okay, and yep, I only accept handwritten. Okay, then using blue or black pen, don't using pencil unless you want to use a pencil to draw some diagram like triangle. That is fine. Okay, the reason is because pencil sometimes is very blur, so when I open and I have a difficulty to read it and mark, so when I can't see it clear, I can't give you mark, right? I have to put as a clause. Okay, then write your name and TP number on top of each page. Okay, to prove that that is your papers. Okay, then snap the picture of your written solutions for each page. Okay, students, I realize some students, they snap it question by questions. Actually, you don't need to do that, because if let's say question by question, sometimes you may need to snap a lot of the pictures. Okay, you can just do it on the foolscap paper. Okay, then when you snap the photo, you just snap the whole foolscap papers. Okay, then you don't need to upload so many images, so it will be easier and faster. Okay, then for your information, make sure it's arranged according to the question number, so it will be easier for me to mark. Okay, else it will be very confusing. Okay, so I'm not sure if the solution is referring to which question, or it's quite messy. Sometimes students, they submit not following the sequence. And then at the end, you must compile it as one file, one PDF file, and rename the file. Rename the file that you compile. So student's name followed by TP number. So that is the examples given here. Okay, student name, then TP number, then followed by what assessment you take. So this is mock test 1, and for your coming test will be the test 1. And all these instructions I will normally show on the page. So before the assessment start, you can actually take a look. Okay, because I understood normally when the time start, we will just focus on answering the question, so we won't use the time to read the instruction. So that's why I showed it earlier. Okay, then upload your file and save the changes. Okay, so only PDF file. Okay, only PDF file, and then one more thing. Yeah, students, I found there's an error by the students. Okay, now I'm giving you a mock test. So suppose it's something's good, but I also have some worry. Okay, I also have some worry on this. The reason is I realized that there are some other classes, right? I gave the mock test. Okay, I gave the mock test, but at the end, right, the students actually, when come to the actual test, they actually accidentally upload the mock test file as the actual test. So this is the greatest errors that made by students. So if you accidentally submit your real test as a mock test, then you will get a 0. Okay, so please take note. So that's why you must, when you do all these mock tests, make sure how you actually save your files. Put it in the right folder. Don't mix it together with the actual test. okay? And you can avoid if, let's say, you really label it properly, okay? And this is not happened once, it's been happened for a few times. Students upload the wrong file, okay? And submit the wrong file, okay? And then some students also have other errors. For example, after the submission, then they will tell me, oh, one page missing, this question missing, that question's missing. You have to make sure you have half an hour. Suppose it's more than enough to submit. So you have to make sure the files that you compile, right, can open and it's already complete, then you only submit, okay? So if, let's say, you submit, then you check, then if you found the error, you can still resubmit before it's due. But sometimes, because you remove the file, then you upload again, sometimes Moodle may take some time, right? So maybe at the beginning you're not late, but after that you're late, okay? As I say, half an hour is more than enough. Don't submit it at the last minute, okay? Don't submit at the last 3 minutes, 2 minutes, or even 5 minutes also not encouraged. So to me, right, to compile the file, you just need 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, so suppose within the first 15 minutes, you should able to submit. Don't take the risk. Okay, so if students taking the risk, then if you're late, okay, then how are you going to prove? Okay, if let's say some students with the then how are you going to explain it to me? So I won't accept. Okay, you have to take note about this. Okay, is there any questions for the mock test? Actual test I haven't scheduled, but the actual test I also announced it in the general channel. You can actually take a look, okay? If you can't remember, you can just refer back. It's on 30th of August, Monday, 4:45. Again, I already put it here, 4:45 to 6:15, 1.5 hours for answering. Then this is for the submission. Of course, if you've already done earlier, you can submit it earlier. After 6:45, the submission is closed, okay? Okay, so any question regarding the submission? Okay, so if no questions, you can continue with your work. Okay, I already posted the question. Right? Okay, so later I will start the discussion. So maybe 3:45 I will start the discussion. Okay. Okay, regarding your mock test, right? Even though I already extend the cutoff time. So if you really start at 1:30, right? I still recommend you to really follow the time, submit it within 2 hours. So you know when come to the actual test, whether you can make it or not. So how you're going to arrange your time to answering each question, okay? I think by now you should done, maybe the first question should be done. And supposed to proceed to second or third. So in another 5 minutes, I will start to discuss the question. Okay, so I think when come to trigonometry, right, especially the first two questions, you will deal with the triangle. So drawing the triangle actually is not required by the question, but I still recommend, but I think you all still need to draw it so you know very clear on what is the information given, okay? Then it will be easier for you to solve it. So when I do the marking for the students, sometimes I can see students, the method is, the solution is correct, but the error is actually come from drawing of the triangle. Okay, triangle draw it wrong. Okay, when I say draw it wrong means they didn't really draw the information from the questions. When they put it in the triangle, they put it wrong. So then, of course, when you using the rules to solve it, then since the side, the angle is wrong, when you put in the triangle, so of course it's affect the solution, okay? And I can see, yeah, quite a few, okay? So maybe 20% of the students or 10% of the students, the error can start up from the drawing of the triangle. Okay, I think I would like to start with the questions 1, okay? So for questions number 1, right, as I say, we start with drawing the triangle. So given the triangle as a PQR, and they give you Q as 12 cm, that means this is the length of one of the side, and this is another length, and this is the angle, right? So since they say PQR, okay, so if you just simply draw a triangle, PQR, wait, I didn't share my screen. Okay, so I didn't share my screen start just now because just now I'm talking about the model and so on. Nobody tell me. Okay. So just I explained a lot. Then nobody tell me. I thought I already shared the screen. Okay. Okay. So can you see my screen now, students?
Yes, miss.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can
Thanks.
see.
Thanks for Manheng. If you don't tell me, I will just conduct it until end of the class. Okay, so for this triangle, okay, PQR, so the opposite of the angle, the vertex P is the side Q, so which is 12 cm. Then the opposite of the vertex R, which is R equals to 16, and then the opposite of the, sorry, Q is 12, so Q is 12 supposed to be here. Okay, my mistake. So this one is P. Okay, P is unknown. Then regarding the angle, P is 54. So that means here is 54 degree. Okay, so what we can understand by solving the triangle. Okay, so when we say solve the triangle, that means you have to solve for the rest of the things that is incomplete. That means you need to find another two angles here. And then, of course, the length of the P. Okay, so this is what you need to solve. Okay, so now, okay, let's say I think we can solve for the angle first, one of the angle. Okay, because you have one angle with two sides, then you can actually use the sine rule, right? Okay, so by using sine rule, so let's say I want to find Q first, right? Sine Q divided by the corresponding side for the angle Q will be Q equals to 12. Okay, so this is the length. Then, okay, then sine, oh, okay. If we're using 54, then we need the length for the P. Okay, then we cannot. Okay, so yeah, so we can't using the sine rule. Okay, because I didn't realize the P is actually, the angle is actually P. We don't have the length of the side. Okay, so we can't use it for the sine rule. Then for this case, okay, then we have to figure out on using the cosine rule. Okay, now if we're using the cosine rule, okay, then maybe we should find the length first. Okay, find the length of P because we have the angle and then we have another two sides. Okay, so we're using cosine rule. So that means the length for P square equals to 16 square plus 12 square minus 2 times 16 times 12, then cos 54. Okay, cos 54. Okay, then we try to get the P. Okay, so what is the P that you get? Okay, here I require one decimal place. So we correct it to one decimal place. Okay, students put the right answer, 13.2. Okay. So that is P, 13.2 cm. Okay, so that means here we got the answer, 13.2 already. All the three sides already have. Then we can find the angle, okay? So next, when we proceed to find the angle, so this times we can use the sine rule. Okay, so using the sine rule, okay, so say we want to find Q, right? So sine Q over 12 equals to sine 54 divided by P, 13.2 that we just found. Then we can solve for sine Q, right? Okay. So that means sine Q equals to 12 times sine 54 divided by 13.2. Okay. Then you can proceed to find Q. Okay, I didn't show the complete workings. Right? Okay, so what is the angle Q that you found? Okay, so 47.35, okay? Correct? 47.35. Okay, then, okay, once we get this 47.35, okay, so here is 47.35, then will be easier to find another angle R. So this time we don't need to use any rules, okay? So angle R equals to 180 degree minus 54 minus 47.35. Okay? So how about this answer, students? For angle R, 78.65. Okay? Correct. Okay, so yeah, we solved everything, all the two angles and also one side. Okay, done. So that is about solving the triangle. Okay? So is that clear for questions 1?
Miss?
Yes.
The question not put need one decimal place, right? I mean, so angle, do we leave in one decimal place or two?
Oh, okay, okay. So, yep, one decimal place. So that means this one, we will put it as, okay, to me, right, actually, when come to this assessment, normally I just want to give a students a reference, but even though they don't follow that, I won't deduct the marks. Okay, so of course, to be, if we follow exactly, should be 47.3.
Okay. So if I follow one decimal place, my R also I use one decimal place, right?
Yep, correct. Okay, suppose it's according to my requirement. So this one also follow. Okay, so if let's say follow, then this one should be 0.3.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Okay, but when I say one decimal place, it's only the final answer. Okay, so within the workings, when you do the calculation, you can keep to 3 or 4 decimal places. So within the calculation, we don't keep it as one decimal place. So else later, the rounding error will be quite big. Okay, for example, when you calculate sine Q, that is not required to put in one decimal place. It's just a final answer. We require one decimal place. Okay. Okay, so we will go to next question. Okay. Okay, for second question, okay, from questions number 1, okay, questions 2A, sorry, from the top of a vertical cliff 90-meter high, the angles of depression of two buoys lying due west of the cliff are 27 and 18 degrees respectively. Determine the distance between the two buoys. Okay, so now, okay, these kind of the questions, definitely you need to draw it, okay? Yep, for part A, right? Okay, imagine there's a cliff, okay? So let's say this is a cliff. Then is 90, okay. And this one is 90-meter high. Okay. So from top of a vertical cliff 90-meter high, the angles of depression, okay, of two boys lying due west. Okay, so let's say there are two boys here. Let's say I label as A and B. So okay, now okay, so one is 27 degree, one is 18. Okay, so definitely this is 18 degree. Okay, 18 degree because it's measured to the horizontal line. So the angle, this one should be 18. And the others one is 27. Okay, the others one is 27. So for the first one, the one nearer is 27. The one further away is 18. Okay, so this is what we draw, right? Okay, about the angle. Okay, now, so if let's say for the A is actually 27, right? Then here should be 27, right? So for the B, right, the boy for B is 18, right? The depression, angle of the depression is 18. Then here supposed to be 18. And of course, here will be 90 degree. So this is the information that we have, okay? Then of course, with this angle, then you can able to know other angles, okay? Okay, so this is about the problems that we have, okay? Then you have to determine the distance between two boys, okay? So that means what you need to find, this is the distance that you need to find, okay? Okay, now, okay, so how are we going to solve this, okay? So, okay, if I redraw it, okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so now, if we want to find the length of here, okay, there are multiple ways to solve it, okay? So, which one we can find first? Okay, which one we can find first? There are multiple ways to do it.
Miss, I find AC first.
Okay, let's say I label them. AC first. You find AC first. Okay, wait, I'm trying to think of the easiest way on doing this.
90 degrees. 90 degrees minus 27 minus 18. You'll get the
angle first.
Yeah.
Okay. But actually without that, I also can find the answers for AD. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, now, okay, actually this is what I'm thinking. So how about if I'm taking the tangent of 27? Okay, so tangent of 27 will be 90 over AD. Okay, 90 over AD. Okay, tangent of 27, 90 over 80. So I can able to find the length of AD. Okay, which is 90 over tangent 27. Okay. So which I get 176.6. This one, is it require one decimal place as well? Yeah, this one also require one decimal place, 176.6. So I get the length for AD. Okay. Then I will proceed to find the tangent of tangent for B. Tangent for 18 degree will be 90 over BD. 90 over BD, okay? So I find BD, which is 90 over tangent 18, okay? Which is 276 point, okay, if let's say one decimal place, 277. Okay, then I can able to get the distance will be 277 minus 176.6. So I think this is the easiest way. But I think there are multiple ways on doing it. Okay.
Miss, I think the easiest way is finding either the CB or CA, then using it for the sine rule to find BA. That way you don't have to do any minus, any subtraction.
Oh, are you using this way? Can you share it? Sorry, Samuel, are you using the way that you just mentioned?
Yes.
Can you share your solution? Of course, these questions, maybe some may using other rules, sine rules, and so on. But at the end, you should able to find the same answer as well. Okay. So as I say, there's multiple ways. So Samuel say easiest to find either CB or CA. Okay. Then use it for sine rule to find. Oh, okay. So he using the sine rule. Can also. That means find CA. Then using CA to find the length for AB also can. Okay. So for my part, the method I'm used here, right? So when I say easy means I don't need to use the sine rule or cosine rule. So it's just using just a knowledge of the tangent. Okay, to know about the ratio of the tangent, you can already solve it. Without knowing cosine or even sine rule, you can actually solve it. Okay. Okay, so is there any questions for A? Okay, let's have a look with an alternate solution. Okay.
Miss, if you ignore my working for the angles, it start from cos 63.
So, okay, wait. Okay, so you mean start from angle 63, is it?
The cos 63 there. Yeah.
Cos 63 here.
Yes.
Okay.
Then after that, follow at the bottom.
153 minus 90. Okay, so where is the cos 63?
Just above the word AC, you see the working, the tick there. Where you put the tick, that's my first working. After the second working is the sign rule at the bottom.
Okay. So 63 is the angles here, is it?
Yes. Or you can take the angle. Why I meant was because I
Here.
heard Sutesh use the other way. Use another way also.
Okay. So yeah, as I say, there are multiple ways. So theta 2 is 63. So this one is a 63. So this is a theta 2. Okay. Okay. So this is the 63. Okay. Then he used cos 63 equals to 90 divided by AC. Okay, yeah. Okay. Then he solved for AC. Okay. Okay. Then when he solved for the AC, okay, got it. So he solved for the AC. AC is here. Then he found AC. AC is here. Okay. Then after that, he using sine rule. BC divided by sine 9. Okay. Then equals to 198.24 divided by sine 18. Okay. Yes. Correct. Okay. Yep, the method is correct. Okay. So you all know how to find the degree of the 9, right? Okay, 9 degree, right? So because from here to here is 27. Okay, and here is 18. Then you just take 27 minus 18, then you get 9 over here. Okay. So this one also quite simple. Okay. Is that clear, students? So there are multiple ways, huh? Okay. Any questions, students? Clear?
All clear, miss.
Okay. Okay, next one. A fuse is in the form of a quadrilateral ABCD as shown below. Determine the area of the ABCD. Okay, let's find the area of ABCD. Huh? Okay. Okay, so to find this area, okay, since you can see there are two triangles here, okay, what you can do is maybe you can start with finding the area of the triangle ABD, then find the area of the triangle BCD and add it up together. Okay, so is that possible to find the triangle for ABD? Right, okay, remember the formula. So the formula for the area for the triangle, okay, is equals to 1 over 2 AB sine C. Okay, 1 over 2 AB sine C. So if I'm referring to triangle ABD, okay, or I can put it together as this. Area of ABCD is equals to, okay, first one is the area for ABD, half times 21.4 times 39.8. Okay, remember when we want to use this formula to find the area, it must be the included angle. So that means if the sides that you have is 21.4, okay, and also 39.8, right, then the angle must be the angle between the two sides, so which is times sine 114. Okay, then plus, okay, 1 over 2, okay, times another triangle, so which is a BCD. Okay, triangle BCD. So we have the two sides and the included angle also. 42.5 times 62.3, then times sine 56 degree. Okay, so this is area for ABD. This one is an area for BCD. Okay, then you will get the answers. So 1486.6. Okay, let me check it out. Okay, so here will be 389.0. One 1097.5. One 1486.5. Okay, so this one is meter square. Can, no problem. Okay, Samuel, you can round up after what you did is also correct, no worry. Okay, so here you can put more decimal places, then you only round up at the final answer is fine. Okay, so normally I won't penalize this small rounding error. So because I understood the calculation is correct. Okay. Okay, so yeah, as what Samuel mentioned, 2B is very straightforward, correct? Okay. Okay, is that clear? Can I proceed?
Can. Yes, miss, can.
Okay, so next question. Okay, next one is questions 1. Questions 1, you are given 30 tangent 30, tangent 45, and find the tangent 75 in third form. Okay, so for tangent 75, right? Okay, so since there's a values given, and can you see 30 plus 45 degrees is actually 75. So we can, and you asked to give your answer in the third form. So we need to apply what is actually given here, then to get the answer in third form. So that means 30 degree plus 45 degree. Okay, and remember we can apply the formula. Okay, the formula for tangent. So formula for tangent. Okay, so this is a formula that we applied. Okay, then at the top will be tangent 30 degree. So since this is plus, at the top is a plus, tangent 45. Then for the bottom, okay, should be 1 minus, so because we're using the operation at the top. So since the left is a plus, so then to the right hand side, the top is plus, the bottom we're using minus. Minus tangent 30, tangent 45. Then we just substitute what is given. Tangent 30 is 1 over square root of 3 plus tangent 45, which is 1. Then 1 minus tangent 30, 1 over square root of 3 times 1. Okay, so that means 1 over square root of 3 plus 1 divided by 1 minus 1 over square root of 3. Okay, so okay, suppose if there's no specific requirement given by the question, so this answer can be considered as a correct answer. Okay, but some students, they will proceed to actually put it in the, proceed to actually simplify further. Okay, but if let's say there are some requirement, maybe you need to go further to simplify it. Yes.
Miss, my answer is square root 3 plus 3 over 3 minus square root 3 should be okay also, right?
You go further to simplify, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we go further to simplify, okay, so how we going to simplify further? Okay, if we go further to simplify, since these questions there's no requirement, so it is acceptable. But if let's say we want to simplify further, okay, that means we should make it as a common denominator, so which is with the square root of 3, okay? So that means at the top, I should have 1 over square root of 3 plus square root of 3 over square root of 3, okay? Then for the bottom, square root of 3 over square root of 3 minus 1 over square root of 3. Change to the common denominator. Okay, so at the top, I will have 1 plus square root of 3 over square root of 3. Then the bottom, square root of 3 minus 1. Okay, then I can cancel it. So my answer is actually square root of 3 plus 1 over square root of 3 minus 1. Okay?
Miss,
Yeah.
I just type in the calculator like the first part after the tangent one, then it come out 2 plus square root 3.
Okay, again, 2 plus
Square root 3.
2 plus square root 3.
Yeah.
You mean this answer?
I just type the whole 1 over square root 3 plus 1 over 1 minus 1 over square root 3 times 1. Then it come out this answer.
Wait. Okay, so hold on. Sometimes it may be the same answer. Let me check.
I
It's
mean, I
actually the
think
same.
it,
It's the same.
it multiply 1 plus 1 over square root 3 to make the denominator a integer instead of a cell.
Yes. If you want to make the normal square root of 3 minus 1, you can actually multiply by the conjugate. Okay. But since there's no requirement for the questions, okay, as I say, you can leave it, okay, in the first answer or actually this answer. And if you want to go further, okay, yes, you can still go further.
I mean, I just type in the calculator, then I just write out the final answer the calculator show me only. Not purposely do all that.
Okay, but actually, if you want to go further, then you have to do this. Okay, so if you go further on this one, then you will get, okay, square root of 3 times square root of 3, 3 minus 1, so which is a 2. Then at the top, square root of 3 plus 1 square, then you will get 3 plus 2 square root of 3 plus 1. So you will get 4 plus 2 square root of 3 divided by 2. So you get 2 plus square root of 3. Okay, which is the one that you got it just now. Okay? Okay. Okay, let's proceed. But as I say, any of the answers here are acceptable. Okay.
So what I mean is like if I leave like straight away from this one to my 2 plus square root 3, is that wrong?
If let's say there's a requirement, okay, where you start?
From after the second
Okay.
middle equation.
Wait, do you show this part?
Yes.
Then do you have this?
Yes.
Okay. Then from
Then after this one, the second thing I straight away equals 2 plus square root 3.
this one. Okay. If let's say there is no requirement, okay, then this one is okay. But if let's say there's a requirement on the final answer and you didn't show the step how you get to this one, then you may not get the full mark.
Yeah,
okay, get it? But of course, it's not 0 mark, but may not be the full mark. Okay, now, so show that the cos 270 plus theta and cos 360 minus theta equals to tangent theta. Okay, let us continue with this one. Okay, so for these questions, right, okay, okay, you need to show the left-hand side equals to the right-hand side. So what is the formula you use for cos, okay? So in the question, there is a cos. So you need to use this formula. Okay, so for the top, cos 270 plus theta, so become cos 270 cos theta. Then since at the top is a plus, right? So, but here is a minus, so minus sine 270 sine theta. That is the top. Then for the bottom, okay, cos 360 cos theta. Now it's a minus, so you have to use plus. Sine 360 sine theta. Then you just evaluate it. So from this one, you just evaluate it. Okay, so when we evaluate it, this one you can just get your calculator to calculate. So this part is a 0. Sine 270 is a minus 1. Okay, so negative sine theta. Then for the bottom, cos 360 is a 1. So you have cos theta. Then sine 360, you got a 0. Okay, so at the top is sine theta, at the bottom is cos theta, sine per cos is tangent theta. Okay, Sean. Okay. Okay, so next one. Not sure whether you managed to get this question done. Okay, so now for part A, okay, proof. We should start from the left-hand side. So that means sine square x, secant x plus cosecant x divided by cos x tangent x. Okay, you need to show that it's equals to 1 plus tangent x. Okay, so what we can do right here. Okay, so say we substitute all the ratio. So secant x is 1 over cos x. Cosecant is 1 over sine. At the bottom, we have cos x. Then tangent is sine per cos. Okay, so I think we can cancel this one. Okay, so for the top, okay, you still can cancel the sign. Okay, so that means we have sine x 1 over cos x plus 1 over sine x. So you have sine x, bringing the sine over cos x, then sine x over sine x. So sine per cos is tangent. Okay, 1 plus tangent. Okay, so this is tangent x. This is plus 1. Okay, which is equals to 1 plus tangent x. Okay, asked to prove, right? Proven. Okay, they should have multiple ways to solve it. Okay, so for this case, I just substitute all the ratio. then simplify and get the answer. So basically these questions, I don't use any of the trigonometric identities. Okay. Okay, but I believe there are multiple ways of doing it. Okay, next one, part B. So for part B, right, is to solve for cotangent x minus 4.8 equals to 0. And you have to take note what is the requirement. So the x is actually from 0 to 360, right? So for the 4 cotangent x, okay, let's find the cotangent x. Cotangent x will be 4.8 over 4.
Miss, can I ask about A?
Yes.
Instead of doing like what you did, is it possible to like use, since the first working is sine square x, right? Is it possible to like change it to sine x, then multiply the inside of the bracket?
Change the sine square x to sine x?
Yeah. Then after multiply the inside of the bracket.
Okay, how you change the sine square x to sine?
When you change it to sine x means the inside of the bracket already multiply one of the sine x.
Oh, so you bring in the sine square x to the bracket, is it?
Yeah, I bring one of them, not both.
Oh, yeah, I think it's almost the same. So if you bring it in, then I think you will get tangent x plus 1. Then the sine you will cancel with the bottom, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it's actually almost same with the way the way they are doing here. Okay, it's fine, no problem. Okay, so as I say, there are multiple ways. Okay, so answer your question. Okay, now so continue with this one. Okay, you get 1.2. So cotangent x is actually 1.2. So how we find the x, which is arc cotangent of 1.2. Okay. Okay, let's say you get the arc cotangent first. Okay. So it will be equals to arc tangent of 1 over 1.2. Okay. Then if you find arc tangent of 1 over 1.2, okay, you get 39.81 degree. Okay, 39.81 degree. Then, okay, so may I know which quadrant? Can I have students to answer these questions for me? Okay. Kritakon, what is the quadrant? Which quadrant?
First quadrant and third quadrant.
First and third.
Yeah.
Okay, so all sides crazy. Okay, so we're referring to tangent. So since it's positive, tangent positive for the first and the third quadrant, yes, okay. Then we will proceed to find the x. So first quadrant will be 39.81. Third quadrant will be 180 plus 39.81. So we have 219.81. Is that correct, students? Same with your answer?
Yes, miss.
Yes, okay. Now, for question C, right? Okay. C is actually solving the equation. Okay, so for part C, right? Okay, so we have cos square, we have sine, okay? We can't factorize. So what we can do is we replace the cos square, right? Because we know that sine square x plus cos square x is equals to 1. So cos square x is actually 1 minus sine square x. So that means for this equation, we replace cos square as 1 minus sine square t minus 5 sine t plus 10 equals to 0. Okay, then we simplify this. Okay, so we have a 12 sine square t. Okay, then minus 5 sine t. So we have negative 12 plus 10, which is minus 2. Okay, okay, can we factorize this? Students?
Yes.
Can factorize. Okay, can you tell me what is a factorization?
3t minus 2.
3 sine t minus 2, then?
4 sine t plus 1.
4 sine t plus 1. Okay? Okay, yeah. Then thanks for the answer. Okay, then sine t equals to 2 over 3 or sine t equals to negative 1 over 4. Okay, so now for sine t equals to 2 over 3, find the arc sine of 2 over 3. Okay, what is the arc sine of 2 over 3?
41.81.
Okay, 41.81. And which quadrant? Positive for sine?
First and second.
First and second. Okay, yeah. Quadrant 1 and 2, first and second. So the t equals to 41.81, then 180 minus 41.81. So 138.19. Okay, then for sine t equals to negative 1 over 4, arc sine of 1 over 4. (14.48). Okay, then should be quadrant number 3 and 4, right? Okay, so your t will be equals to 180 plus 14.48. Then the other one will be 360 minus 14.48. Okay, so 194.48, and the other one 345.52. Okay, so suppose we have to put all the answers together. Is it my answer is tally with your answer?
Yes, miss.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the answers and the solutions. Okay, any questions you want to ask? Any questions you want to ask?
Miss, is this question actually 10 marks? Like just C?
You mean for part C?
Yeah. It's like so much of marks for that.
10 marks, yes? Yep.
Okay.
You think too many marks, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I've sometimes faced these things. Students, they skip some of the steps, okay? But when we give the marks, right, we are giving on the important steps. So sometimes the simplification, we may not need it, okay? If like the questions for this one, right, there are few things are important. Okay, how you know that is an important steps? Okay, so for these questions, right, okay, we know that if let's say they are not in the sign, in terms of the sign, it can't factorize. So this part is important, right? You need to factorize, substitute. Then make sure you have this equation. Okay. Then after that, how you get the sign? Then you need to factorize. Then of course you need to solve sine t. Okay. Can you see here is around 1, 2, maybe 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around 5 marks already. Okay. Those important one. Okay. Then other things maybe come to this one. What is an angle? Then what is the two answers? Okay. Then when come to the others one, what is a basic angle? Then what is another two angles? So actually, if you look at the ticks that I put, the ticks that I put is actually the important part. It's actually almost 10 marks already. Okay? Understand? Okay?
Yes.
And yeah, actually looking at the marks sometimes is a good reference for you to actually know how much of the marks, workings to show. Especially like the earlier part, the proving parts. What I realize is sometimes students, they skip many steps. So which is hard for me to actually reward the 6 marks. So you need to take notes about that. Okay? When come to the proving questions. Okay, then I give you a short break. Can I just give you 5 minutes break if you don't mind? Okay, we just have a 5 minutes break. Then I think because it's almost, I take almost more than 1 hour already, 1.5 hours. Then maybe 5 minutes, okay, a toilet break. Then we come back, take the attendance. Then I give you some intro for the new topic, okay? Should be okay, huh? Okay, 5 minutes break for today, okay? So hopefully with the questions just now, you will understand better, some good practice also, okay? 5 minutes break. Okay, see you after 5 minutes. Okay, students, let's continue. Let me take the attendance first. Today is your second class, L4. Then 3:15, 2 hours. Okay, lecture. Okay, take your attendance. Thirteen students. 14. Muhammad Saad. I thought he's here. Muhammad Saad. Oh, it's not here. Okay. Okay, then let's continue with the new topic. Okay. So the second topic is for matrices. Okay. Let's talk a little bit. Before I talk about the matrix, regarding the first topics that we just finished. Okay, trigonometric. For your information, right? When come to the next topic, okay, after matrices, the next topic is complex numbers. So when come to complex numbers, trigonometry also very important. So we will still using a lot for trigonometric when come to third topics. Okay, so if let's say your foundation, your knowledge on the trigo is not good, then it will affect you when come to the third topic. Okay, so make sure you really study well for this one, revise it for these topics again and again until you really understand. Okay, and if you have really any issue, any problems, you can send a personal chat. But before that, can you see I've done a lot of discussion. You can actually watch the recorded video again. Okay. Okay, now back to the matrices. So this is what we're going to cover. Okay, when come to the topics here. I think for the beginning, it's just a recap on what you have studied. So I think most of you have studied matrices. I think it's quite no doubt on this one. Okay, most of you have learned about matrices in the earlier high school study. Then first part we'll go through on the intro for the matrices. Then basic operations and how we find the determinants and also inverse matrix. So the knowledge on the determinant and inverse matrix, we can actually use it to solve the simultaneous equation. So say you have a simultaneous equation for two unknowns, you can solve it using inverse matrix method. Okay, I think last time you have learned this in your high school study. But the time you deal with two unknowns, okay, that means solving x and y, for example, okay. But now when come to these topics, we will go further on solving three unknowns. So that means you will involve 3 by 3 matrix, okay. You can use the inverse matrix method to solve 3 unknowns. Then of course the calculation is much more complicated if compared with 2 unknowns. Then to solve 3 unknowns for the simultaneous equation, inverse matrix method is not the only method. We have others method, Gaussian elimination method, and Cramer's rules. So for the last two methods is something totally new to you. For inverse matrix, you have some idea for two unknowns, but I think you're also not so sure how to do it for three unknowns, okay? So this is something new. But before that, we need to have a recap, some basic on the matrices, okay? Now, come to the matrices, okay? So this is matrices, we have rows and columns, okay? So what is showing here is a rows, okay? Row 1, row 2, and so on. And we have column. Okay, so rows and columns, okay. And when come to rows and columns, okay, the values inside the matrix, okay, how we indicate which value, okay, then can you see we have a subscript. Let's say A is referring to the values in the matrix, okay. When come to the subscripts here, right, for your information, the first one is referring to row. The second number is for the column, okay. So that means when we have 1, 1 means the first row and first column, the element for first row, first column. Then for this one, that means the first row, and this one too means second column, okay. For example, when we have A32, right, the 3 means the third row, the 2 means the second column. Means this is a value, okay, in the third row and second column of the matrix, okay? For your recap. Okay, now, so as I said just now, the numbers in the matrix, okay, there's a name, so which we call it as an element. Okay, then, yeah, as I said just now, the first subscript is a row, and the second one is the column, okay? Okay, now, how we describe the size of a matrix, or we say the order of the matrix, okay? So when come to the matrix that we have here, right, can you see you have, if let's say we have n rows and n columns, then the matrix, the size of the matrix, or we say order of the matrix, is indicated by m times n, m by n, okay? M by m. So this one is referring to m rows. This is referring to n columns. That means the matrix consists of m rows and n columns. Okay? So the order, the size, we also call it as a dimension. Okay? There are many names, order or size of the matrix. Okay, dimension. We also call it as dimension. Okay, now, so look at the one that we have here. Okay, let's give the dimension of the matrix here. Okay, for the first one, we have 2 rows, right? First, second row, and we have 3 columns. So 2 rows, so we write as 2 by 3. Okay, 2 by 3. Okay, then come to second one, we have 3 rows and 3 columns. So this is a square matrix. Okay, why we call it as a square matrix? Because we have the same number of rows and columns, so which is 3 by 3. Okay, how about the third one, students? Okay, rows first come by columns. Row come first, then column. So rows is what? 2 rows. So 2 by 1 column. So should be 2 by 1, not 1 by 2. Okay, ilalam? Okay, take note. Rows come first, then column. Okay, okay. How about number 4? Okay, number 4, 1 by 2. Yes, 1 row, 2 columns. So 1 by 2. Okay, just a recap. It's not difficult. Okay, just sometimes you will mix up. Okay, whether rows come first or column come first. Okay, done. Next one. Okay, hold on. So, yeah. Okay, this one, give me the answers. Dimension. 3 by 2, 3 rows, 2 columns. Okay. How about the second one? 2 by 2. Okay. Correct. How about the third one? Okay. 3 by 3, yes. Okay. So, next, number 4. Yeah, 1 by 2. Number 5. 2 by 1. Yep. Okay, correct. How about the last one? Only one element. Yep, 1 row, 1 column, 1 element. So is 1 by 1. Okay. Okay. Yep. Correct. Okay. So this is just a recap. Okay. Now let's move on. Okay. So for the next one is a equal matrix. Okay. So two matrices are said to be equal. So when we say equal, we're using this sign. Okay. Two matrices are equal if and only if each element of the matrix is equals to the corresponding elements of B. So each element of A is equal to the corresponding elements of the B. Okay? Okay, for example, given that the matrix A equals to matrix B, so what is the A, B, C, D? Okay, what is the A, B, C, D? Okay, so what is means by the corresponding matrix? So that means, say this is 1, then this one is a corresponding matrix, right? Okay, so this 0, the corresponding is a B. Okay, so when I say -4, the corresponding is C. So this is means by corresponding elements. So of course, number 2 will be D. So from here, you can easily find the answer for A, which is 1, B is 0, C is -4, and D is 2. Okay, the corresponding elements. So since they are equals matrices. Okay. Okay, next one is the operations of the matrices. Okay, how we do the sum and also the subtraction. So when we do the sum of the matrix, okay, so we have to make sure that the matrices with same order, then we can only do the summation. Okay, if let's say the orders are different, we cannot add, we cannot subtract. Okay, when it comes to addition and subtraction, the two matrices, the matrices must be same order or same dimension. Okay, so for example, like the one that we have it here, the two matrices, the order is not the same, dimension not the same. So that means they are not conformable for addition or subtraction. Okay, you can't add, you can't subtract. Okay, so how we add the two matrices, okay? So how we do the addition for A plus B, okay? So as I say just now, we must take the corresponding element. So that means -5, the corresponding is 6. So when you take the sum, -5 plus 6, okay? So this is an easy one. Then 0 will add with -3, 4 will add with 2, 1 will add with 3, okay? Then our answers is 1, -3, 6, and 4. Okay, so can understand, right? Addition, students? Clear?
Yeah, clear, Miss.
So this one you should have learned last time, right? Okay, now. So when come to the second matrix here, can you see all zeros? All the entries of the matrix is a 0. So you will get to the same matrix. Okay, so this one we say as a 0 matrix. Huh? Because all elements are 0. Okay, then the same matrix will be obtained. Okay, next one. To do the subtraction, same also, they must have a same dimension. Okay, so that means 1 should be subtracted with this one, -2 minus with this one, and can you see dimension is the same? So -3 minus 2, and so on. Okay, 2 minus -1, 0 minus 3, -1 minus 3. You just need to take note on the sign. And this is the answer. Okay, so I think subtraction should be fine as well. Right? Okay. Okay, so let's try this question. Okay, so can I have David to answer these questions? Okay, David, can you give me the answer in the first row? First row, David, can you hear me? Oh, okay, so you write it in the paper. 4 minus 6 minus 2, correct? -1 minus 5, -6, correct? Then 6 plus 7, 13, -3 plus 3 is a 0. Yes, correct. Okay? Yep, thank you. About second, okay, now try on second question, students. Okay, Manhing, can you give me the answers for number 2, first row? Manhing? Maybe you can unmute the mic and let me know what is the answer in the first row, or you type in the chat box all the answer for first row, then followed by the answer in second row. Okay, so for Manhing -1, okay, then 3 plus 1, 4, then negative 2 minus 5, negative 7, correct? So negative 2, negative 4, and 8, correct or not? 4 minus 6, yes. 0 minus 4, negative 4, 5 minus, okay, so plus 8. Okay, correct? Okay? Okay, so next part, okay, about scalar multiplication, okay? How we conduct the scalar multiplication. So please take note, this scalar multiplication is not referring to multiplication of two matrices. It's a numbers, okay? K is referring to any numbers, multiply with the matrix. So this K, we call it as scalar, okay? So how we actually conduct the scalar multiplication, that means each element should multiply by K, okay? Each element in the matrix should be multiplied by K, okay? That means it will be 1K, 2K, 3K, minus K, and so on, okay? Each one of them times K, that is scalar multiplication. Okay, for example, let's say you have 3, okay? This is a scalar. So for this scalar, you are going to multiply each element in the matrix. Okay? So for negative 3 times 3, you get negative 9. 0 times 3 is also 0. 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 3 is 15. Okay? So that's how we get the answer, right? Okay, now, how about this one? Students, let's do it now. Okay, Ilalam, can you give me the answers? Follow rows by row, 3 rows.
Okay, miss. Wait a second.
Okay. Okay. So we wait for the answer from Ilalam. Okay, so Ilalam giving answers 5, negative 2, 5x, then 20, 5y, 5, 0 minus 25, 5x squared. Okay, Ilalam, how about this one? Can you check your answer?
I'm sorry, miss. I made a mistake. It's 10.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so this one should be negative 10, correct? Okay, so each one multiplied by 5. Yes, correct. Okay? Okay. Okay, now, how we actually solve matrix equation? Okay. Can you see we involve addition, scalar multiplication, and the left-hand side is equals to the right-hand side. So then we try to solve for the x. Okay. Can you give a try on this question? I give you 1 minute. Get the answer for x and y. Okay, for those already got the answer for x and y, you can share it in the chat box. Okay, Samuel get the x equals to 3, y equals to 1. How about others? Okay, Junho also getting the same answer. Okay, Cheng Hao also get the same answer, then should be the correct answer. But okay, let's have a look how we actually solve it. Okay, so you can simplify it first by adding the two matrices. Okay, adding these two matrices. So then you get 3x plus 4, then minus 1 plus 1, a minus 2, 5 minus y. Okay, then for the next part, we simplify it. Okay, then scalar multiplication. This is what we get. Okay, then the next, okay, we need to solve for the x, right? So 6x plus 8 equals to 26. And we get then 10 minus 2y equals to 8. So we need to solve this. Okay, so 6x plus 8 equals to 26. So 6x equals to 26 minus 8, 18, right? So x equals to 3. Okay, yep. Then 10 minus 2y equals to 8. So y equals to 1. Yep, correct. Okay. Okay. Okay, already done with the scalar multiplication. So the next part is a matrix multiplication. Okay, so come to matrix multiplication, then this one you have to take note. Okay, not as easier as the earlier one that we did for addition and subtraction of scalar multiplication. So because when come to matrix multiplication, not all the matrices can be multiplied. I'm not sure whether you still can remember the rules or not. Okay, so if let's say you want to multiply a matrix A and matrix B, okay? So say matrix A with the order of m by P and matrix B with the matrix of P by n. Okay, so please take note. For the first matrix, okay, for the first matrix, the number of columns must be same with the number of rows for the second matrix. Okay, I repeat again. The number of column, okay, because second one is column, rows times column. Okay, this one is a column. This one is a row. Okay, so the number of columns for the first matrix must be same with the number of rows for second matrix. Okay, then the two matrices can multiply. Okay, if let's say the number of columns from first matrix and the number of rows from the second matrix are different, they can't multiply. Okay, then for the answers that you get right, okay, what is the order? The order of the matrix will be m by n. Okay, the order of the matrix of the multiplication of the matrix will be m by n. Okay, so please take note about this. Okay, so for example, the one that given here for matrix A. Okay, so may I know what is the order for matrix A? This one? Two by 3, yes. And how about matrix B? Three by 2, yes. Okay, so if you take matrix A, okay, this is matrix A times matrix B. So can you see the number of columns for the first matrix and the number of rows for the second matrix must be the same. Okay, must be the same. Then after that, the answers should be the answer of the matrix should be with the order of 2 by 2. Okay, so that means when A is 2 by 3, B is 3 by 2. Can you see these two must be the same? Then the answers that you get will be 2 by 2 matrix. Okay? Okay, and remember when we multiply the matrix, we're taking the rows from the first matrix multiplied by the columns of second matrix. Okay, row times column. Huh? Okay, so how we take rows times column? Okay, for example, how we get this 18? Okay, so we should take the first row, multiply with the first column. So when I'm taking the first row, multiply with the first column, okay, I will get the element of the first row, first column. How I multiply? So 1 times -1 plus 2 times 2 plus 3 times 5. Okay, so you can see the calculation is showing here. 1 times -1 plus 2 times 2 plus 3 times 5. And when you add it up, is 18. Okay? Next, if I want to get the answers for this one is what? First row, second column, right? The location, first row, second column. That means I should take the first row, multiply with the second column in order to get this answer. Okay? So that means 1 times 2, okay, plus 2 times 3, plus 3 times 0. So which is showing here. And we get 8. Okay, and so on. Right? Okay, so next one. If I want to get this answer, that means this position is second row, first column. So I should take second row, multiply by the first column. Okay, second row multiply first column, I get the element for second row, first column. Okay, so 0 times -1 plus 1 times 2 times 4 plus 4 times 5. Okay, so when I add it up, I get 22. It's showing here the calculation. And so on. Okay, so the last one. Okay, so the last one is, can you see second row, second column? So I should take the second row, multiply the second column. Then I will get this answer. Okay, so that's how we do the multiplication. Okay, so 5:15 already. Okay. Okay, so since we have 2 more slides about the multiplication, so just have a quick one. This one is quite simple. Okay, now for this first matrix, okay, matrix A, right? So if we take A multiplied by B, so when you look at A, is actually a matrix with 1 row. So this is 1 by M columns. And second matrix is a M rows, but only 1 column, so M by 1. So when you're taking A multiply B, so can you see M must be the same? Then the answers you get is 1 by 1. So you will get a 1 by 1 matrix, okay? Only 1 element in the matrix. Okay, now, so let's say the matrix just now, instead of A multiplied B, but you're taking B multiply A, so now when B multiply A, this one is M by 1. So this one is 1 by M. So again, number of columns and number of rows must be the same. Both also 1 can be multiplied. Then the answer you get is actually M by M. M rows, M columns. Okay? Okay, so please take note when come to matrix multiplication. So multiplication of AB may not be, will not be the same as a multiplication of BA. Okay, and sometimes A and B can multiply, but doesn't means that B can multiply by A. Okay, take note about this. Okay, so I think we have to stop it here. Let me see any questions that you can practice in the tutorial. Yeah, you can practice number 1 and number 2. Just a very simple questions, okay, about the addition, subtraction, and also multiplication. Okay, practice questions 1 and 2.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes.
I'm having a problem with my Moodle, and I'm still fixing it with the school office.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is talking to me right now? Just
Ilalam. Me,
Ilalam. You say you can't access to Moodle, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You just remind me on some things very important. Okay. All of you. Okay. The actual test is next week. Okay. Please try to log into your Moodle, because I have students have issues on login to the Moodle. Okay. Okay. If let's say, okay, the one of the reasons that you can't log in, okay, sorry to say that, so if there's a fees issue, okay, if students didn't pay the fees, right, your account will get blocked, okay. But not all the students that can't access will having this issue, because I have students, they say they pay the fees, but they still can't log into the Moodle, okay? Then what you need to do, you better check it later, okay? Since tomorrow we have a mock, okay? But if you can't do the mock, okay, you let me know. I can still extend for you the cut-off time, okay? If you have a Moodle issue, I can extend it. But when come to the real test, I can't extend already, okay? You have to take note about that, okay? So real test is next week. Please check it out right now, okay? Today is Tuesday. You should have time to resolve it. So if you can't log in later, let's say you check your Moodle, you can't able to log in. So as I say just now, last Saturday they have a maintenance, but Sunday can log in already. So you better try again later, okay? So if you go to Moodle later, you should able to see the mock test one that already scheduled, okay? So of course you can't access to the link right now because it's not yet available. Okay, if you can't access, please immediately send the email to CTI. Do you know who to contact? Yes, the maintenance is Saturday. Okay, do you know who's to contact if you can't log in? You must immediately contact with the CTI, then solve this issue. Okay. Desk, okay, so you need to contact with the help desk. So this is the one. Okay, if later when any one of you log in and you have the issues, please contact help desk. Okay, I put it in the chat box for you. Okay, then try to resolve this issue before the next Monday test. Okay. Okay, so then I think should be that's all for today. Okay, try to resolve it. Everyone should check later. Okay, if last minute you just tell me you can't log in, I can't really help you. Okay, I can't do anything. Then I think should be that's all for today. Today only 2 questions, very simple one. And next week we will continue the rest of the part for the matrices. I think next week we will come to the determinant already. And then you are going to learn something new, how to find the inverse matrix for the 3x3 matrix. Okay, and yep, there's a lot of calculation for this one, but it's something new to learn. It's interesting. Okay, then I think that's all for today. Yep, I already take more than 5 minutes already. Okay, so I will see you next week. Don't forget tomorrow. Last reminder, as in the general channel, tomorrow 1:30 is your mock test. Okay, and then the following Monday, yeah, I still have a class with you. I will continuously remind you. Okay, the test is next Monday. It's already announced it here. Okay, so that's all for today. See you next week. Bye, students.
Thank you, Miss.
you,
Bye bye.